What's up, everybody? This is Attorney Dan Nguyen again, and I want to talk a little bit about corporations and LLCs, and when should you incorporate? Now, this is I'll answer this question outside of the asset issue, asset protection issue. Um, there are tax benefits to forming an LLC corporation, especially if you decide to do the S corp election. You may have heard this before. Now, let me kind of dispel one of the myths: is that S corp is only a tax designation, right? That is what you file with the IRS, the form 2553, I believe. Um, the states, and Secretary of State, they don't recognize the S corp election. So you are either a corporation taxed as an S corp or a C corp, or an LLC taxed as a partnership or S corp or C corp, or so as a pass-through entity sole proprietor. Yeah, S corps can be a little bit confusing, but one of the questions I always get is like, at what revenue level should I consider incorporating? And I was having lunch with a CPA friend of mine today, and his recommendation was when you are at gross revenues of $250,000, that is when you should consider incorporating. Now, here are a couple of reasons. One is actually audit risk. You are more at risk for audit if you are a sole proprietor versus if you are a corporation. For him, he's seen this example he gave me is like, if you're a $1 million corporation, that's not as a big deal. If you're a $1 million sole proprietor and have a lot of deductions, that's a bigger deal to the IRS, and you have a higher audit risk. So number one is reducing your audit risk by incorporating at $250,000 gross revenue. Two is the tax benefits. Now, by incorporating, you do have additional fees and maintenance fees. If you're in California, $800 franchise tax. There's additional tax and accounting fees. You have to keep, obviously, books or cleaner books, and tax returns that have file separate tax returns. So there's kind of a lot more annual maintenance required to have a corporation versus a sole proprietor. At his pricing, it's $2,500 annual maintenance for the tax and accounting side. Could be more, could be less, depending where you go. But for his example, that's what it costs. So, at $1 million, if you do $250,000 gross, you can probably absorb the additional costs for maintaining a corporation or LLC with the C corp or S corp tax designation. And so that's the answer that I got. If your question is, at what revenue level should I incorporate? The answer is, his answer is $250,000 as a general answer for the purposes of reducing audit risk and against the cost of actual maintaining that corporation. So I hope this has been helpful. This is a question I get a lot, and I finally got an answer from a CPA friend of mine. And if you have any questions about anything, reach out to me, and so we can set up a consultation and see how we can help you. All right, this is Dan. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.